of you were looking at the costumes that we have on display over here, and we thought we would explain a little bit about them. And so we were going to start on the left end and maybe bring a few of those out. And the costumes, so the costumes on the left are my costumes. And what's really funny is the kids all ask in class, well, Sheila, what did your solo costume look like? Well, we didn't wear them, you know. Nobody had solo costumes back then. That's just how much Irish dancing has changed. But my very first costume with Jack Mullally was, there it is. It's coming in Megan Hale's hand. No. Yes. The first one was the red vest with the white blouse, and we wore a gray dirndl skirt, probably mid-calf. But that was my teacher, Jack Mullally. He was a historian. He later left us and went up to New England to get a PhD in German. That'll give you an idea about where his head was. No, just kidding. Anyway, but yes, we looked like orphans. But it was the tradition of the time, and that's what we wore. And then, you know, we convinced him to update us a little bit. So then we went to this gray one, and it had a green cummerbund, and it's still like 100% wool. So when we're dancing in the summertime in the sun, it was a lot of fun. And a little bit of lace on the collar. And then, as time went on, our dancing teachers in Cleveland changed, and we wound up not having any teachers at all. The West Side teacher moved to New York, and my teacher, Jack, went to New England to major in German. And so we had no teacher, and finally, May Butler from Toronto sent a teacher down to Cleveland to teach us. And she lived with us for 2 years. Her name was Bernadette Bonney, and that's the purple dress. And we even danced in Carnegie Hall in that dress. May Butler had a huge school in Toronto, and I wasn't part of that group, but they did. They went to Carnegie Hall and just did a marvelous group. And so that's the purple dress. And then the green poplin dress, and then this one on the far end, Diane, your right hand. I just want to point out, those were two of my beginning dresses, but my mom and my sister Joan and I hand embroidered those dresses. And that's why they're so important to the Murphy family, because nowadays all the embroidery is done by machine. And in fact, the costume in Diane's left hand is the first move to machine embroidery on our costumes. And the tradition of hand-embroidered costumes kind of like went to the wayside once we had these. But what a treasure I have that my mother and my sister helped me embroider two of my dresses. So that's why they're very, very sacred to me. But that's the story behind those costumes. And then the ones in the middle over there on the wall were the ones that danced out here. So you saw those. Those were the costumes of the Murphy Irish Arts Center. And then the costumes on the far right, those are choreography costumes. They all went to the Worlds at different times. The white with the maroon cranberry velvet, and then the blue silk. That we designed a dance called Meeting of the Waters, and it's a poem by Thomas Moore. But there's two rivers in Ireland that merge, and so half the team was in blue silk and half the team was in purple silk. And the dance started with them as separate groups, and then they merged and blended as the dance went along, which is what the poem talks about. So those were the Meeting of the Water dresses, and Suzanne Cahill over here did a tremendous amount to make those dresses happen for us. She's been great, helping us all along with our costume. We currently, I forgot to bring our current choreography costume, but it was made by a dressmaker in Ireland. It's all cranberry velvet, and it's just stunning. It has a lot more jewels on it, and it has pink and green embroidery on it, but it's really cool. So I know some of you were asking about them, so that's the story of the dresses. Thanks, ladies.